Hello Muslim friends in the world. An interesting debate took place at a major church in Los Angeles, United States, where a Christian pastor and a Muslim scholar engaged in a deep discussion about religion and divinity. This event attracted widespread public interest and was attended by hundreds from diverse backgrounds eager to hear the perspectives of two major world religions in an open forum. The debate focused on the theme, "Is the Bible or the Quran the true word of God?" and was moderated by an independent figure. The pastor, known as a religious leader and Christian theologian, presented his views on the importance of faith in Christian doctrines, including the concepts of the Trinity and redemption. Meanwhile, his opponent, a Muslim scholar and American preacher, explained the concept of Tawhid, the oneness of God, in Islam, and answered various questions regarding Prophet Isa, Jesus, from an Islamic perspective. The debate was intense yet respectful, with each side attempting to provide strong theological arguments. However, at one point, when the pastor was asked by the Muslim preacher about the logical basis of the Trinity and how it aligns with the strict monotheism taught in Abrahamic religions, the pastor seemed to struggle to answer. Further questions from the preacher about historical changes in the Bible left the pastor at a loss, unable to offer a satisfying explanation to the audience. At the event's conclusion, many participants felt the Muslim scholar's arguments were more logical and grounded in historical facts, especially regarding the originality of the Quran and the simplicity of God's concept in Islam. Some audience members even applauded when the Muslim preacher calmly answered each critical question posed by the pastor. This event sparked further discussions about the importance of interfaith dialogue and seeking a deeper understanding between different beliefs. Although the pastor acknowledged his difficulty in answering some questions, he expressed a commitment to further study for future debates and praised the Muslim scholar for promoting a respectful and scholarly dialogue. A religious debate between a well-known Christian pastor and a Muslim scholar at a major church in Los Angeles gained public attention after the pastor faced challenges in front of thousands of his congregants. What began as a peaceful interfaith dialogue unexpectedly turned into a surprising moment when the pastor struggled to answer several theological questions posed by his opponent. In the debate on the theme, "Who is the true God?" the Christian pastor started by explaining the Trinity, original sin, and redemption. However, his Muslim opponent responded in detail and logically about the concept of God's oneness in Islam and the Islamic view of Prophet Isa, Jesus. Tensions rose when the Muslim scholar questioned the pastor about the basis of the Trinity and how it could be explained within the context of monotheism as understood in Abrahamic religions. When the pastor attempted to explain, his arguments seemed unsatisfactory to much of the audience, and he appeared confused while defending the concept. The Muslim preacher also questioned the historical changes in the Bible, which further cornered the pastor, as he found it difficult to give definitive answers. Many congregants present appeared surprised, with some whispering as they saw their pastor struggling to answer. The situation grew more intense as the Muslim scholar calmly and clearly explained the originality of the Quran, which is regarded as preserved since its revelation. Some congregants even applauded when he presented his logical arguments, grounded in historical facts. At the end of the debate, although the pastor expressed gratitude for the opportunity to engage in dialogue, it was clear that many congregants were taken aback by the debate's outcome. Many felt that the Muslim preacher had presented strong arguments, while the pastor appeared unprepared to respond to some of the critical questions. The debate sparked lively discussion among the church's congregants, marking it as a moment of reflection to deepen understanding of each other's beliefs. An unexpected scene occurred at a large church in Los Angeles when thousands of congregants witnessing the debate between a Christian pastor and a Muslim preacher decided to recite the shahadah, moved by the profound and logical explanations provided by the Muslim scholar. Originally intended as an interfaith dialogue, the event ended with many congregants gaining a new perspective on divinity and faith. In the debate themed "Seeking the Truth About God," the Muslim preacher elaborated on the concept of tawhid, or the oneness of God in Islam. He also explained the Islamic perspective on Prophet Isa, Jesus, who is regarded as a noble prophet without divine status in Islamic teachings. Every question and argument from the pastor was answered meticulously and peacefully by the preacher, who grounded his responses in the Quran and clear historical facts. The audience, initially skeptical, began to show deep interest, especially when the Muslim preacher discussed the preservation of the Quran, which has remained unchanged since its revelation. During the Q&A session, many congregants began to ask the Muslim preacher direct questions, showing their curiosity about Islamic teachings and the concept of divinity he had presented. One of the most surprising moments occurred when several congregants began to recite the shahadah on the spot, and soon after, many others followed. Within hours, hundreds, even thousands, of people in the congregation recited the shahadah, declaring their faith in Allah and embracing Islam as their way of life. The pastor who had organized the event was shocked by this development but tried to remain calm and respected the choices of his congregants. "This is their journey to seek the truth, and we must respect every step they take," he said after the event concluded. This event quickly became headline news and sparked widespread discussion about interfaith dialogue in the United States, as well as the profound impact of peaceful dialogue that opened many people's hearts to new perspectives. An unexpected moment occurred at a major church in Los Angeles when a Christian pastor, who had previously been a speaker in the interfaith debate, decided to recite the shahadah and embrace Islam. This happened after he struggled to answer several critical questions posed by the Muslim preacher, who was also part of the debate. In the dialogue themed "Seeking the Truth About God," the pastor, who had taught and preached in his church for years, initially enthusiastically explained Christian doctrines like the Trinity and the concept of redemption. However, the Muslim preacher, invited to engage in the dialogue, logically explained the concept of tawhid, the oneness of God, and presented the Islamic view of Prophet Isa, Jesus, as a servant and messenger of God, rather than God or the Son of God. As the debate intensified, the Muslim preacher calmly asked the pastor about the logical foundation of the Trinity, which, from an Islamic perspective, is difficult to comprehend within the context of monotheism. This question made the pastor appear troubled and unable to provide a satisfactory explanation. He also fell silent when the preacher explained that the Quran has preserved its authenticity for over 1,400 years, without any alteration, in contrast to the Bible, which has undergone revisions throughout history. After the debate, it was evident that the pastor was deeply moved by the Muslim preacher's arguments. In an emotional moment, he eventually recited the shahadah in front of the thousands of congregants present.